Well, good morning, everybody. How you doing? It's Jim Valeri. It's a beautiful Tuesday morning, and y'all, I'd like to make a change of venue. Today, I am in the craft room because I decided that I have better lighting here. It's a little bit, it's just a little cozy. So I'm enjoying my coffee here. Good morning. You don't know me. I'm Jim Valeri. I've been doing therapy for 20 years. I've been married for 20 years. So, welcome to the show today. Today, I'm going to talk a little bit about attention. I heard an interesting quote the other day, and the quote was, the greatest thing you can give somebody, the greatest gift you can give somebody is your attention. And I really thought a lot about this, and I think it's actually true. All right? Because right now, hopefully you're giving me your attention. I like that, but if you don't, that's fine too. If you want to just get off social media altogether, that's great. But on the other hand, one of the things that I realized is that there are people in our lives that we're not giving our attention to. Okay. And I want to talk specifically to men, because if you think about our busy daily lives, what are we doing? Okay. We're giving a lot of our attention to work, especially if we work from home or if we have a traveling job or something like that. We're giving a lot of attention to our job. Okay. So we're doing a lot of that. We're going and we are checking our phones, we're checking emails, we're writing up proposals, things like that. A lot of our jobs, some men out there, I challenge people every day, and I got to kind of hold back on that. But I want to ask yourself a question. How much does your job eat into your family? How much does your social media eat into your family? How much does whatever distraction you're doing eat into your day-to-day with your kids, your wife, whatever? Because I think that we have so many distractions. So many things are vying for our attention, okay? Whether it's social media, whether it's our job, whether it's whatever it is, it's eating into our attention span. And some people are like, well, Jim, I've got ADHD, and because I have ADHD, it's just way too hard for me to give anybody any focused attention. I get that. I respect that. I understand that. And you know what? I understand. Okay, it's not easy. But I want to just kind of capitalize on this idea of giving people our attention, even if your attention span is short, even if you don't have a lot of bandwidth to hand out to people. I'm curious to see if you kind of just look at yourself and kind of say, what am I giving my attention to? So, for example, for me, I'll tell you a story about after my son was born. So right around the time my son was born, my wife and I were playing this mobile phone game. We were wicked into the Lord of the Rings series, and there was one game called Hobbit, Kingdoms of Middle-earth. It was totally a game promoting the Hobbit movies, which were okay. All right. They were very cool looking, but to take a small book and turn it into 3 movies is kind of crazy. So anyway, I was giving a lot of my attention to this game. I was running, and just to be fair, I was running a really, really solid, what they called alliances or guilds or whatever it was. It was a really solid alliance, and it was like top 5 alliance. It was really, really good. It was doing well. People were happy. Like, it really kind of showed my leadership skills. But as time went on, I found it ate my life. Okay? I had a son who was a toddler, and I was like sitting there next to him. He's sitting there playing trains, and I'm sitting there absorbed in this game. It was eating my life. It got to a point where me running the group I was running was a part-time job. It got ridiculous. And this is the kind of thing I saw a lot during, 20 years, 10 years ago. And even earlier, there were people who, I don't know if you've ever heard of a game called World of Warcraft. It's kind of come back and had a little bit of a resurgence lately. But back in the day, all right, World of Warcraft was this game that would eat people's lives. Okay? They would spend every spare moment with their guild or with their whatever, and they'd be playing World of Warcraft. It destroyed marriages. People lost their jobs. This one guy died because he was playing the game like over a day straight, and he wouldn't eat. Okay, it was crazy. It was nuts. And so people were giving a lot of their attention to these games. And I'm just going to pick on games here. All right, there's a lot of things we give our attention to that is just not really feeding into valuable relationships. Think about sports. Like, one of the reasons why I don't follow sports, and I know this makes me a little less of a man, that's fine. You can think that way if you want to. But one of the reasons why I don't follow sports is because I don't have the time. I just don't have or have 4 hours on a Sunday afternoon or a Thursday or Monday or whatever to go and watch a show. I've got too much going on, and I've got too many things too many dreams, too many ideas that I want to implement. Okay, so and bear in mind too, like look at how much time I could be spending with my kids if I was watching this. So I try to at least invest a little bit of time on my weekends, on my days off, to spend with my kids, to spend with my wife. And it was this past weekend, we had a big storm, we had shoveling, blah, blah, blah. But every single one of my family members wanted to spend one-on-one time with me. My son wanted to play a game of Pokemon cards. My daughter wanted me to watch like a YouTube video with her and play with some of her toys and stuff. My wife wanted me to sit and talk to her about what's going on in her life. Every single person who you have a meaningful relationship with in your life is going to want to spend that time with you. And if you think about it, if you are not giving that time to them, all right, if they're asking for time from you, all right, and you're not giving it, what do you think is going to happen? I'll take a sip while you think about that. What do you think is going to happen to that relationship? If people are asking you to spend time with them, and it could just be family, it could be friends, what do you think is going to happen to those friendships, those relationships, especially with family, if they ask you to spend time with them and you say no, or you're too focused on your phone, or too focused on something else in your life? What happens? They stop asking, okay? This is why I target men specifically, because a lot of times we go out there, we want our kids, we want our family members to just kind of, go do your thing so I can do mine. I would encourage you to think about if somebody asks you, if your kid asks you, your wife asks you, hey, can I spend a little time with you? Okay. Really do a gut check, do a heart check and say, hey, wait a second. I'm going to give them a lot of time. Yeah, absolutely. You are taking a step further. You could even go and reach out to them and be like, hey, I haven't spent a lot of time with you. What would it be like if we could spend some time together? What would you want to do? I find this is difficult for a lot of men who have teenage children. All right, because teenage children, they got friends, they're running around, they got things they want to do, they got sports at school, they're too busy. Even if they're too busy, most kids still want to spend a little time with their parents. All right, maybe not as much as they used to, but they still want to know their parents care. They still want to know their parents are invested in their lives. Okay, so what if you reached out? What if you said, hey, I've got a little bit of time later this weekend. Do you want to go hang out? Do you want to go do something? I've got parents who go skiing with their kids. All right, cool. Great time of year to do that. All right. I've got, parents who take their kids on hikes and stuff like that, and the kids actually like it. Okay. So the idea here today is to think about what is it that you can do to try and spend more time with the people you care about and less time away from distractions. Okay? Because if your wife wants to spend time with you, man, and you're not spending time with her, she's going to stop asking. And that's the first step in a long line of bad things. Okay? You want to go and invest that time. You want to go and say, hey, it's been a while since we've chatted. It's been a little while. We should go hang out. We should go spend some time. Ask her on a date. I can't even tell you how many women I've heard on the internet. I go cruising through and lurking on the internet a little bit, some of these groups and things like that. And so many women just want their guy to ask them out on a date. I'm not kidding. It sounds crazy, guys, but they actually want a date. They actually want to go out and do something. Okay? What if you just say, hey, I want to spend a couple hours with you. I want to go out on a date. Doesn't have to be anything crazy. Just go grab some food. Go watch a movie. Go spend time. It'll be mini golf or go bowling. Bowling is an easy one for the winter, okay? Something. All right? And you know what? Odds are decent. They'll be like, yeah, let me see what's up. Let's check our calendars and let's figure it out. Okay? So I want to encourage you today that, number one, odds are decent there are people who want to hang out with you. Number two, if they ask, respond positively. Say, maybe not, hey, I want to do that. Maybe I can't do that today, but maybe I can do that later on in the week. Okay? And this goes with friends too. I talk a lot about social connections because I believe that men really, really need social connections. It's really important for us to do that. And so I would challenge you to kind of say, hey, reach out to those people. Give them your attention because you know what? When you give attention to people, surprise, surprise, they'll sometimes give you attention back. All right, but start with the family first. We challenge you to start with your family first and try and reach out to them. I guarantee you. All right. Well, I mean, I can't guarantee you. Jim said in the video he can guarantee me happiness, and I'm not happy. No, okay. I will say this much. I will say that if you reach out to your family, if you reach out to people who love you and want to spend time with you, or if you respond positively to that, guess what? They will respond positively to you. They will respond in a way that will say, hey, yes, I want to spend time with you. I want to hang out with you. And you know what? It will help you with that loneliness, okay? Because guess what? You're spending time with people, all right? What's the biggest complaint of a lot of men out there? Hey, I'm lonely. Hey, I feel alone. Hey, I feel like I'm being crushed by all this stuff. All right, spend time with people who love you, okay? Then the other side of that coin is that affects the cortisol in your brain. It impacts that depressed mood. It impacts those negative chemicals that are screwing with your brain, okay? So now it's going to affect you emotionally, and it's going to affect you physically, okay? So I would encourage you, not challenge today, but encourage you to look at how you can go be intentional about your attention. Say that 5 times fast. And to, if people seek you out, spend time with them. Anyways, that's about all I got for you today. If you have a comment, you have something you want to share about this, please feel free to put it in the comment section. Even if you're watching this after the live, that'd be fantastic. I'll get to it the next day. Otherwise, if you want to check me out some more, right down there in the corner, right down here in the corner, is dynamicmarriagesolutions.com. That's where a lot of my story is, a lot of the content that I put up there. But I want to thank you for watching this today and give people attention. It's the strongest, most powerful thing you can give them. Okay. Thanks so much for watching. Have a fantastic day.